Root is a very fun horror game, but what's the most fun faction to play? Here I'm gonna rank the top 10 Root factions according to how fun it is to play them. At 10th place, you have the Corvette Conspiracy, and this was actually the first faction I played, and the reason why it's not as fun as the others is because basically all you can do in the game is set the plots and flip them, which takes a whole turn to do. At 9th place, I'm going to put the Woodland Alliance. Again, most of what they do is spread sympathy and defend them. They also have the least number of warriors in the game, and they're basically made to defend and not attack. And I'm not saying it's a bad faction, but just not as fun as it could be. At 8th place, we have the Marquis de Cat, and there's no big explanation here. I just don't enjoy that much playing with them, and it also depends a lot on the map you're playing with, and I basically prefer the rest of the factions. Riverfall Company is a great faction. Most of the time when I play, the one playing it wins or gets too close to win, but again, it depends only on selling services and putting posts, and if you're the kind of person that likes to sell and get people to buy things from you, this is gonna be at your top 3, but if you're like me, not that much. The Lizard Cult is one of my favorite factions actually, and I play them all the time, but I kinda understand why people don't like them that much. The fact that your person actions are restricted to the Outcast Nation, and that includes the part when you attack, can be a little not great, but I like them, and how can you say no to that face? So, Lord of the Hundreds, it's based on attacking, destroying, and being everywhere, and it gives you a lot of actions, but not that much variety. Underground Duchy is great. The whole minister system, having to know how to use the cards in your hand to do the best every turn is fun. Again, it is based on defending your buildings, but unlike the Woodland Alliance, you can also easily attack, and it is very easy to get new warriors and to dig to every part of the map. Keepers in Iron is the most complicated faction in the game when it comes to getting points, and having to think every turn how you're going to recover the relics, but also not lose cards, it's great, and it keeps you fully focused on your strategy. The Ares Dynasty is also very fun. It's the only faction in the game that loses points, and that happens when you fall into turmoil. So to avoid that, you always have to resolve the decree, and just thinking how you're gonna do it every turn is really fun and frustrating sometimes. And at first place, we have the Vagabond. This faction is different from any other faction in the game. I mean, you can get points by getting quests, by aiding people, removing pieces from a hostile faction, crafting and exploring, and having to think how to get items every turn and use them is again really fun.